You seem calm and collected, always meeting deadlines, always reliable. But inside, your mind is racing, weighed down by a constant tension. Beneath the surface, there's a relentless fear of not being good enough, of letting someone down, and a bone-deep exhaustion from always being on. If this sounds familiar, you may be dealing with high-functioning anxiety, a hidden struggle that fuels your productivity but drains your peace. Today, we'll pull back the curtain on this invisible battle and show you how to start regaining your inner calm. What are the telltale signs that you might be experiencing high-functioning anxiety? Let's delve into some common indicators that often go unnoticed. The first sign? Relentless overthinking. It's not just occasional worry. It's a constant, intrusive stream of thoughts that you can't seem to shut off. This mental loop can be exhausting, leaving you feeling drained and unable to focus on the present moment. Your mind replays conversations, often dissecting them word by word, gesture by gesture. You analyze what you said, what they said, and what you have said. It analyzes every detail, searching for hidden meanings or potential misinterpretations. You might find yourself obsessing over the tone of an email or the expression on someone's face, and obsesses over mistakes, even the smallest ones. A minor slip-up at work, a slightly awkward comment in a social setting, these become magnified in your mind, turning minor errors into catastrophes. You blow things out of proportion, imagining the worst possible consequences and dwelling on them endlessly. Even in happy moments, when you should be enjoying yourself, your brain is elsewhere, preoccupied with future worries or past regrets. You struggle to be fully present and engaged. You're constantly worrying about what's next, planning ahead, and anticipating potential problems. This can manifest as excessive list-making, overscheduling, and a general feeling of being on edge. Or what you might have missed. Did you lock the door? Did you send that email? Did you say the wrong thing? You find yourself constantly double-checking and re-evaluating your actions. This constant mental chatter keeps you from being present, hindering your ability to fully connect with others and enjoy the simple things in life. All of this is driven by a deep fear of uncertainty. The unknown feels threatening, and you desperately seek to control every aspect of your life to minimize potential risks. You try to control every outcome, believing that if you can just plan and prepare enough, you can prevent anything bad from happening. By thinking through every scenario, you attempt to anticipate every possible challenge and develop a solution in advance. This can lead to a feeling of being overwhelmed by the sheer number of possibilities. But it only fuels more anxiety. The more you try to control, the more anxious you become, as you realize the impossibility of predicting and preventing everything. The solution, more thinking, becomes your default response to anxiety. You believe that if you just think harder, you can find the answer and alleviate your worries. But this solution becomes the problem, perpetuating the cycle of overthinking and anxiety, trapping you in a cycle of rumination and worry, making it difficult to break free from the grip of anxiety. If you can't switch off your brain, if your thoughts are racing even when you're trying to relax or sleep, recognize this as a key sign of high-functioning anxiety. It's a signal that your mental processes are working overtime. Awareness is the first step, acknowledging that this pattern of thinking is not serving you and that it's time to make a change, to quieting the noise, to reclaiming your peace of mind, and to breaking free from the relentless cycle of overthinking. You're achievement-oriented, always striving for more, but satisfaction never lasts. The moment you reach a goal, your mind minimizes it or immediately moves the bar higher. A harsh inner critic keeps you in a loop, your worth tied to your latest accomplishment. No amount of praise silences the anxiety. It just pushes you to keep proving yourself. If you never feel enough, you're likely caught in this exhausting cycle. The success is real, but the satisfaction is always just out of reach. Chronic people-pleasing. It's a subtle but pervasive pattern, often driven by a deep-seated need for approval and validation from others. This behavior can manifest in various ways, from constantly agreeing with others' opinions to taking on more responsibilities than you can realistically handle. It's like wearing a mask, always trying to be what you think others want you to be, rather than embracing your authentic self. Is another hidden sign that anxiety might be at play? It's not just about being agreeable, it's about feeling compelled to say yes, even when your gut is screaming no. This can stem from a fear of rejection or a belief that your worth is contingent on meeting everyone else's expectations. You say yes to everything, often without even pausing to consider your own capacity or desires. It's an automatic response, a reflex honed over time to avoid potential conflict or disapproval. This constant agreement can leave you feeling stretched thin and resentful, as your own needs are consistently pushed to the back burner. Afraid that setting boundaries will disappoint or alienate others, the thought of saying no can trigger intense anxiety, leading you to prioritize others' feelings over your own well-being. You might worry that asserting your needs will make you seem selfish or unlikable, reinforcing the cycle of people-pleasing. Your value feels tied to being helpful, to being the go-to person who can always be counted on. This can create a sense of identity that is dependent on external validation, making it difficult to prioritize your own needs and desires. You might find yourself constantly seeking opportunities to assist others, even when it comes at your own expense. So you sacrifice your own needs for everyone else's comfort. You might skip meals, cancel personal plans, or neglect your own health in order to fulfill the demands of others. This constant self-sacrifice can lead to a depletion of your physical and emotional resources, leaving you feeling drained and resentful. This leads to burnout and resentment as you consistently prioritize the needs of others over your own. The constant pressure to please can take a toll on your mental and physical health, leading to feelings of exhaustion, irritability, and detachment. But guilt keeps you trapped in the cycle. The fear of disappointing others or being perceived as selfish can prevent you from breaking free from this pattern. You might feel guilty for even considering your own needs, reinforcing the belief that your worth is tied to your ability to please others. You may not even know what your boundaries are anymore. The constant focus on meeting the needs of others can blur the lines of your own personal limits. You might struggle to identify what you truly want or need, as your own desires have been suppressed for so long. If you're constantly apologizing and overcommitting, even for things that aren't your fault or responsibility, it's a red flag. It suggests a deep-seated need to avoid conflict and maintain approval, even at the expense of your own time and energy. And feeling drained, despite getting enough sleep or taking breaks, it's a sign that something deeper is going on. This persistent fatigue is often a result of the emotional labor involved in constantly managing the expectations and needs of others. This is more than just being nice. It's anxiety in disguise. It's a coping mechanism, a way to manage underlying fears and insecurities by seeking external validation and avoiding potential conflict. Recognizing this connection is crucial for breaking free from the cycle of people-pleasing. Recognizing this pattern is the first step to reclaiming your energy and prioritizing your own well-being. It's about acknowledging that your needs are just as important as those of others, and that setting boundaries is not selfish, but rather an act of self-care. Your needs matter too. You deserve to prioritize your own well-being, to set boundaries that protect your time and energy, and to say no without feeling guilty. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's essential for living a fulfilling and authentic life. Stillness feels uncomfortable, so you keep busy to outrun your anxious thoughts. Your to-do list becomes a shield, and downtime feels threatening. You fill every moment with activity, work, chores, social plans, because silence brings the worries rushing in. This isn't just productivity, it's a defense mechanism. If relaxing makes you anxious, it's a sign your nervous system is stuck in overdrive. Learning to tolerate stillness is crucial for healing. It's about teaching yourself that it's safe to slow down. Perfectionism is often mistaken for high standards, but for you, it's about a fear of failure. Every task feels high stakes. Mistakes feel catastrophic. You spend hours perfecting small things, struggle to delegate, and see things in black and white. The outside world praises your diligence, but inside, you're exhausted and anxious. This perfectionism is anxiety in disguise, not just a drive for excellence. Recognizing that good enough is truly enough is a radical act of self-compassion. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Your body keeps the score. Chronic tension, headaches, chest tightness, digestive issues, these are all signs your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight. You might look fine, but your body is absorbing the stress. Doctors may find nothing wrong, but the symptoms are real. Your body is telling you it's overloaded. Don't ignore these signals. They're a vital part of understanding your anxiety. Listening to your body is the first step to healing. Your physical symptoms are valid. You appear calm in public, but in private, you're prone to irritability or emotional crashes. Suppressing anxiety all day is like holding a beach ball underwater. It eventually bursts out. You might snap over small things or feel completely numb and depleted at home. Guilt follows, fueling the cycle of suppression and eruption. This isn't a character flaw. It's emotional exhaustion. Recognizing this pattern is key to breaking the cycle. You're not alone in feeling this way. Despite your achievements, you feel like a fraud, convinced you're not as competent as others think. Compliments bounce off you attribute success to luck, not skill. This fuels perfectionism and overwork as you try to keep up the facade. The more you achieve, the more you fear being exposed. If you doubt your abilities despite evidence, you're experiencing imposter syndrome. It's a cognitive distortion fueled by anxiety. You are not a fraud, your anxiety is just telling you a false story. Even on vacation, you can't switch off. You check emails, overplan, and feel restless when you try to relax. Downtime feels foreign, and guilt creeps in if you're not being productive. Your nervous system is so used to high alert, it can't power down. You may come back from a break feeling more tired than before. If your mind never takes a holiday, it's a sign of high-functioning anxiety. Relaxation is a skill you can learn. Give yourself permission to do nothing, without guilt. You're exhausted all day, but when it's time to sleep, your mind races. The quiet of night brings a flood of worries, replaying the day and catastrophizing the future. Your body is tired, but your brain is stuck in survival mode. This leads to a vicious cycle. Poor sleep heightens anxiety, making sleep even harder. If you can't rest, it's a sign your nervous system can't find peace. Addressing anxiety is the only way to truly restore your sleep. You deserve deep, restorative rest. High-functioning anxiety is a complex experience, often unseen by others, yet deeply felt within. It's a state where you appear to be managing life effectively, meeting deadlines, and maintaining relationships, all while battling a constant undercurrent of worry and unease. But you're not broken. You're running on patterns that can be changed. Your brain, in its incredible plasticity, is capable of rewiring itself, forming new neural pathways that support healthier thought processes and emotional responses. Awareness is the first step, recognizing the presence of anxiety, understanding its triggers, and acknowledging its impact on your life. It's about tuning into your inner world and observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Self-compassion is the next. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend struggling with similar challenges. Acknowledge your pain, validate your feelings, and remind yourself that you are worthy of love and acceptance just as you are. Change comes from small, consistent actions, tiny steps taken each day that gradually shift your mindset and behavior. It's not about striving for perfection, but about making progress, one small victory at a time. Setting boundaries, protecting your time and energy by saying no to commitments that drain you, and creating space for activities that nourish your soul. Challenging anxious thoughts, questioning the validity of your worries, and replacing negative self-talk with more positive and realistic affirmations. Allowing moments of stillness, cultivating mindfulness through meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply taking a few minutes each day to connect with your inner self. You don't need a dramatic overhaul. No need to turn your life upside down. Just gentle, steady progress. A commitment to self-care, a willingness to learn and grow, and a belief in your own capacity for change. Share this with someone who needs it. Spread the message of hope and resilience, and let others know that they are not alone in their struggles. And remember, you're not alone. There is a community of people who understand what you're going through, and there are resources available to support you on your journey. You are not your anxiety. It doesn't define you. You're the person experiencing it, observing it, and learning to navigate it with greater awareness and skill. And you have the power to change, the power to rewrite your story, to reclaim your life, and to create a future filled with greater peace, joy, and fulfillment. This is just the beginning, a new chapter in your life, of your journey to peace, a journey of self-discovery, healing, and transformation.